Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hola! So, for today's video, as you can see by the title, we are starting this year again with the one brand tutorial. So, first on the list was of course Colourpop because, oh my god, I cannot believe I haven't done a full face of Colourpop cosmetics before because Colourpop is my favourite makeup brand of all time. In this video there is quite a lot of brand new products that I haven't used before, some old favourites, some products that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but anyway guys, if you want to know how I created this makeup tutorial, then just stay tuned. Okay guys, so the routine that I have been doing my makeup in recently is eyebrows first and then onto my base makeup, but I think I'm going to start on like all of the eyes first today. So I'm going to start on eyebrows and then do the eyeshadow, and then we'll get started on the base makeup. So I obviously have the Colourpop eyebrow gel. I have two shades of these actually. The brunette one I thought would have been okay for me because like my regrowth is quite dark, so I thought it would be okay. It's actually very dark. And then I got the shade Blonde Moment. That is the shade there, Blonde Moment. I was expecting it to be a wee bit more taupey. And I also have the Colourpop Brow Boss gel, the cleaner one. So I'm first off just going to go in and just give my brow hair just a wee brush. I honestly can't believe it's took me this long to do a full face of Colourpop makeup. I think although it's maybe just now that I actually have a full face actually, because I got so much Colourpop makeup for Christmas and just after New Year. Ugh, I hate doing my eyebrows on camera. But the formula is very, very good. I've actually yet to use an eyebrow pomade that isn't good actually. So, you know, like it's very pigmented, it's very creamy, but it's a wee bit more waxy than other pomades that I've used. The very first time that you use an eyebrow pomade, it can be very, very creamy and it can be a wee bit more difficult to work with, and you kind of want it to dry out a wee bit, whereas I am finding that it's very, very creamy, yes, very, very easy to work with, but it has a wee bit of more of like a waxy texture than more creamy. So it is slightly easier to actually work with and it gives you a wee bit of play. Every time I'm looking in the mirror doing my eyebrows, I'm always like, yeah, I haven't went that big today. And then I look at my viewfinder and it's like, bam! Eyebrows. Every damn time. So I like to finish off the front of my eyebrows whenever I have my base makeup on, but I'm just going to go in and set them first of all with the wee clear eyebrow gel. I was using this for quite a while as well in my tutorial, so this isn't necessarily a first impression or anything, and it's an okay eyebrow gel. Like I wouldn't actually purchase it again because it does claim to be clear, but it actually does have like a cloudiness to it. Like as you can see, like it's not clear, it does have like a white cloudiness colour to it. Like it dries down clear, don't worry about that, it definitely does dry down clear. In terms of staying power, because I have such thick heavy brows as it is, I really like to have an eyebrow gel that really nearly glues my eyebrows, like standing up. It works fine, it's grand. I have never looked better. To carve out my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the No Filler Concealer. I don't really think that I need to confirm that it's a Colourpop product every time, do I? Obviously not. No? Good. Okay. So yeah, this is the Colourpop. This is the No Filler Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral 10 or 10. I'm going to be using this to cover up my eyebrows because I don't like it on my under eyes as like a concealer, because I find that this concealer oxidizes like something shocking. In case you're probably wondering, like, if you don't like it, why are you using it on your eyes? It's a very, very good concealer, but it just oxidizes, and that's why I don't like it on the under eyes. But to carve out the eyebrows or as a lid primer, it's no issue at all. One of the eyeshadow palettes I have here is the Should We Date It palette by Kathleen Lights and Colourpop. So this palette here, this is kind of like an antique gold type of greeny shade, so I'm really wanting to use that today. I also have the Just My Luck. Just My Luck. Please don't be broke. Please don't be broke. This wee one here from Colourpop. The green one. Ugh. So that's what it looks like there. So obviously, as you can see, it has a lovely array of green shades. I honestly love green shades. especially green pukey shades. You know the way you kind of take a wee bit of a break off makeup and then you come back to makeup and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think I'm having one of those moments where, what is this? This is what I could come up with these two beautiful palettes. Like, this is what my imagination is right now. Poop. And then the first shade, I think, keyword being I think, is this one here. And then I took this shade here. So I'm just going to start in that inner corner first of all. Whenever it comes to like the inner corner and everything, I like to literally blend until there's not very much pigment left on the brush. I like to blend in sections. So guys, the worst day of the year is just around the corner, Valentine's Day. Do let me know if you would want a Valentine's Day tutorial and what you would want. Would you just want something very sweet, girly and pretty, or would you just want something full glam, sexy, or both? So now I'm going to continue on with that second shade, this one here. For somebody that isn't single, I absolutely hate Valentine's Day. I just think it is the most pointless day of the year, and everybody on social media is like, the boy did good. I don't give a fuck. Do you know what it is though? I think it's because me and Kyle never do anything for Valentine's Day. Never have, probably never will. Like, we just don't do Valentine's Day. Like, we are lucky if we get each other a card. To me, it's literally just like every single day of the year, apart from the fact that there's a slight possibility I'm gonna get disappointed. Like, do you know what? God forgive me that I'm actually talking about this and making him look out to be such a bad person, because he's really not. But I will never forget one year whenever it was Valentine's Day and I was working in the salon. Every one of them got flowers delivered. Whenever I say every one of them, the two of them got flowers delivered, jewellery, cards, all the good wee stuff. Kyle was obviously coming up to my house that night, and obviously I was expecting a card or something, you know, a card at least. And it was late on in the evening and he still hadn't gave me anything by this stage. And it got to the point where I said to him, I was like, are you not gonna give me a card or something, or like what? And he was like, oh, I have your card in the back of the car. Will give me it, please? Do I have to beg? Do I have to get down on my knees? So he gave me it, and like the card was inside the envelope. The envelope wasn't stuck down, it wasn't tucked in. And I was like, what a ratchet ass piece of shit is this? Opened the card, he hadn't even wrote it yet. He hadn't even wrote the card and he handed it to me. I could not see for tears in my eyes. I was laughing that much. It was one of those moments where you either laughed or cried, and I laughed because I'm a laugher. I laugh at everything, I giggle at everything. It's not really the best of qualities sometimes, but yeah, I laughed. I found it absolutely hilarious. Like, I'm not like a petty type of person. Like, I wouldn't take it thick. Like, I genuinely found it funny. Screw him. This obviously isn't my first time trying out Colourpop eyeshadows, by the way, but they are absolutely fabulous, their eyeshadow palettes. They can be a wee bit annoying in the fact that they do come out with a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but it just means that you have a lot to choose from. You have a lot of colour stories to choose from, you have a lot of finishes and everything. Obviously every palette has a mixture of like mattes, shimmers, whatever, but their shadows are honestly so good for the price point, and just the quality of them is absolutely fabulous. Then next up I took the Kathleen Lights palette and I took this shade here. So I'm just applying this shade just with a flat concealer brush. A couple of shades down from that, this one here in the corner. And this is just what I've done on this eye, but I'm actually going to blend these shimmer shades into my crease. Just back and forth. Okay, so I know this next product isn't Colourpop, but unfortunately Colourpop hasn't come out with any coloured highlights yet. So I'm going to go with the Anastasia Moonchild palette and Lucky Clover. So I'm just going to apply this on the brow bone. I have this Colourpop liquid liner. So I haven't tried this before, so this is a bit of a first impression, so it should be interesting to see how it applies on top of such a heavy shimmer. It's starting to mix a wee bit. Like, as you can see, the tip is now coated with shimmer. So instead of swiping, I'm actually just going to press. There we go. That's so much better. And then also I have the mascara. I'm actually really excited to try this. I was actually pleasantly surprised whenever I got this because with it being Colourpop and it being so affordable, like I think this is honestly under $10. I was expected to just be like really plastic and cheap and just feeling like a Maybelline mascara or L'Oreal, but there's quite a bit of weight to this. Like it's weighty. You know, like it is plastic, but it's like a heavy plastic, and I just kind of find like the packaging of it is really cute as well. It's actually the first time I've opened this because obviously once you open a mascara you have to start using it. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be like that. It kind of reminds me of the Too Faced Better Than Sex, is it? I'm just going to give my lashes just a wee quick coat. So far it's not actually that bad, but if I was going a day where I wasn't wearing false lashes, I wouldn't reach for this. Now I tell you, starting the skin, first up we're going to prime. This is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I have it up on my phone here to see what it claims to be. It's a lightweight hydrating primer that refreshes and preps the skin to create a smooth canvas for makeup. So, ooh! That's just like the consistency of it there. It's just like a moisturiser, which I definitely do prefer in a primer. Ooh! It smells so good. It smells like coconuts. Next up for foundation, guys. I don't think this is going to work. Obviously, as you can tell, I have fake tan on, but fake tan on me seems to stick and last so long on my neck and on my chest. But look at my hands. Obviously, I wash my hands so many times during the day, so it just comes off like within, I would say, maybe 3 days. But this is honestly the only Colourpop foundation I have, and it's the No Filter foundation. If you are curious, it is in the shade Fair 15, and I might mix it with the Milani 2-in-1 Medium Beige foundation because yeah, this, no. So I'm just going to start blending and buffing this out with the Beauty Blender. I do apologise that this isn't necessarily like a full-on Colourpop foundation, that it's mixed, but I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, that Milani foundation looks great. Oh, postman scared the life out of me. Then for concealer, this is obviously new. It's within the same collection as the primer and the setting spray, and it's the Pretty Fresh hyaluronic, it's not hyaluronic acid, oh it is, sorry. Oh. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. Oh, coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage, although it has provided a bit of coverage. It's provided some brightness, which I obviously love, but I would say it's just pretty fresh. I'm actually going to leave it for a wee while and see how it settles and see how it dries down, if it dries down. But yeah, I think the concealer is just aimed towards more of like a fresh coverage and a fresh finish rather than a heavy duty mask, full coverage, full glam. You know, whereas it still provides a wee bit of coverage, it still provides a bit of brightness and everything, but it's just not a full-on heavy mask. Before anything else, I'm going to go in and set. I don't have a pressed setting powder, unfortunately, because I like to have a pressed setting powder to set my under eyes and T-zone, and then go in and back with a loose powder. But I just have a loose powder to work with today, so. And also, this is the No Filter translucent setting powder. This isn't a first impression or anything. I've been using this for quite some time now, so It is quite a nice powder, but I just have so many other powders that I just reach for and go to that just do everything else that I want. Whereas this doesn't really hold that much brightness. Like, it's a nice powder, it's absolutely fantastic for the price, but I don't know. It's just not as brightening as I would want it to be. So I have two setting sprays here. Obviously I have this wee All Stars one, and then I have the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I'm probably just going to be using this one because I have used this one before. I don't like the mister on it. It's very aggressive, smells a wee bit funky, but I have heard fabulous things about this. I was watching a video earlier before I started this video myself and Shanixo apparently loves this, so I absolutely love Shanix, so usually if she likes something, I like something, so gonna try this just before I go in and highlight and bronze and blush, all that good stuff. Oh my goodness, straight away the mister. That's very, very fine. It smells absolutely beautiful. It smells like the primer actually. Okay, so I definitely can tell that that wee mist has set that powder nicely. My face doesn't look as powdery and dry anymore. For my highlight, you guys could probably tell me what I'm going to be using. So it was either between obviously the Flexitarian or the new Soul Body highlight in the shade Platinum. I think I might as well just use this one here. Also, if you watch my videos, you would know that I like to use more than one highlight. So I always like to go in with a slightly darker highlight, more toned down highlight, more subtle highlight, just all over the skin, just as an all over glow. And then I will always go in with the Colourpop Flexitarian or this one recently, because these highlights are more intense. I don't like to go in straight away and apply it all over the face. I only like to apply these types of really intense highlights to like the highest points of the cheekbone, at the tip of the nose, a wee bit here, but I don't like to go in like completely crazy with it, even though it probably looks it sometimes. If you haven't tried any Colourpop highlights, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? They are honestly the best highlights. If you love a blinding highlight and you haven't tried the Colourpop highlights, mate. And obviously I apply them until they are blinding. You can obviously go more subtle with them, more of like a wee subtle glow all over the skin. You don't have to go like a big massive silver landing strip on your face like myself. So then for blush, I'm gonna be going in with this wee blush here in the shade Simply Sweet. This is a collection and I don't know what it's called. So this has actually been my favourite combination so far, especially for the skin. A Colourpop highlighter and a Colourpop blush. Because of the unique texture and formula of the Colourpop highlighters and blushes, they're kind of like a cream to powder type formula. So they kind of have like a bouncy-ish type formula, if that makes sense. They just blend into the skin absolutely beautifully, and they just blend in together absolutely gorgeous, and they just melt into the skin so nice. And then because I do my blush after my highlight, I always just like to have my highlight blend it into my blush. This is actually one of their new bronzers and it's in the shade Coconut Beach. Hello? It is a nice bronzer, but I kind of find that it's one a wee bit patchy just on my forehead there a wee bit. I'm just going to blend this out a wee bit. There is also another shade in this. It's not just this shade, by the way. I'm thinking it's maybe darker or more of like a bronze shade, where this is more of like a slightly contouring shade. But as you can tell, like by my face, it is very nice. It has sculpted very well. It has warmed up the outer perimeter of the skin, but in person and up close, you probably can't see on camera, but I have this slight bit of patchiness on my forehead, and I don't know whether it's maybe the powder or what it is, but I am blaming it on the bronzer. Unfortunately, I don't have a Colourpop lip liner, so I'm just going to be using Spice by MAC. Okay, so then for lips, lips was honestly so hard for me because I have so many of the Colourpop liquid lipsticks. It is crazy, but I first off wanted to figure out what I was doing on the eyes and then select the lip colour, because I could have done a red, an orange, like a burgundy, but we're obviously going for a nude. Colourpop honestly Colourpop honestly has the best selection of nude liquid lipsticks. They have so many different shades, undertones, no matter what your skin colour. I picked a liquid lipstick, I think. Yeah, so an ultra matte lip, and this is in the shade Chai, and then I also have the ultra glossy lip in the shade Attention Haul. This gloss is so pigmented. To finish everything off, I'm going to give my face a wee spritz again with the Hyaluronic Setting Mist. Okay guys, so this completes this makeup tutorial. I like to think I like a wee bit better now. So everything was absolutely fantastic. Everything that I did use in today's tutorial was absolutely fabulous. The powder, whenever I first bought the powder, it was nice. I used it. I didn't have any issues or anything with it, but now that I have found better powders and I've now went back to that one, I'm kind of like, it's not necessarily the best powder I've used. I would say it probably wouldn't even be in my top 10 at this point, because I don't know, I just kind of found that it didn't brighten my under eyes at all, because that is one thing that I really do look for in a powder. Obviously it has to set, but I love a powder that holds that brightness. I do apologise, I can't necessarily give a review on the foundation. The liquid liner was okay, it was working grand, but I just kind of find that the only issue that I had was the fact that I was trying to sweep it across like such a shimmery eyeshadow that it just wasn't working to the best of its ability basically. The mascara was meh. I've tried worse, I've tried better. I'm trying to like look around me and see like what I used instead of actually having everything in a row to actually talk about, but everything was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed the Pretty Fresh collection, this one here, the setting spray, the primer was absolutely great. The concealer was very nice, although I must actually try it again just to actually see, because obviously like your first impressions can change, it can vary with the different foundations and everything, but yeah. I will have everything linked down below in the description box so you can go and check them out. If you are from the UK and Ireland, there is no issues at all buying from Colourpop. It does take between 1.5 to 2 weeks. You do not get customs, you do not get taxes. Everything is all calculated at the checkout on the Colourpop website. You can track your order. It is absolutely fabulous. So if you are from the UK and Ireland and you're a wee bit iffy ordering from a US website, it's no issue at all. Other than that guys, thank you all so much for watching. It was a pleasure to have you here, and I shall see you all in my next video.